So what about you? What's your line for SP1? Where do you draw that line?
I I can't like you may have convinced me. I don't know. For me personally, I think Zach Gallen, based on what he did last season, like I'm pretty sure I would trust him as an SP1, and I would feel somewhat okay with him leading my staff. So yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of torn, but I feel like that would be the only difference is Gallon would be an SP1 for me at 74 overall, and then Christian Javier, who has incredible stuff, but like
Yeah.
he's got to do it for a full season as a starter
Yeah.
for me to
Yeah. I think he definitely opened up some eyes in, the end of the season and in the playoffs, but give me a good 150 innings of that, and then
yeah.
we'll be comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah. Um
Um,
Kenley Jansen, is he
yeah.
is
That's
he too high
that's a
on
little
this list?
high.
Do you
That's
feel
a
like
little high.
I don't know. He's in Boston.
Uh,
He's in a different situation. They've been waiting for a closer.
yeah, a Boston team
I don't
that
know.
is just built to lose right now. Like
I know. I know.
the Red Sox are just ugly. Especially now without Trevor Story, there's
Yeah.
nothing to replace him with. Um, I, no, I, I
Okay.
I feel like yeah, Ben can have him.
Yeah. And he will. He will.
He will, and that's
Um,
fine. I'll be happy with the ball.
yeah. Yeah, me too. But talk about a wide range of discrepancy here. We have he's going the earliest he's going is 31st, which is wild. Um, and then the lowest is 143, which
Jeez, wow.
that's a crazy range right there.
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean, if you're getting him in 143rd overall, that's I'd be good with that.
yeah, I'll take that
Uh,
too.
yeah, but I don't know about 66. That's just I think there's better out there, or even if there's not, like, fine, then I don't get Jansen. But like, that's too much of a risk for me.
Yeah, agreed. All right. So, biggest steal of the fifth round for you. Who would you
Oh,
absolutely take?
this is getting tough now.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like Dansby Swanson. I
Nice.
think in Chicago, if I'm getting him in the back end of the fifth round here, um, like yeah, I'm good with that. He was one of the big four shortstop free agents this year, right? He was the last one to sign. Um, I think he had a really good year in Chicago. Give me Dansby Swanson here as my steal.
Nice. Um, I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go Starling Marte here.
Wow. Okay.
I know he's getting older, but if we're talking Cedric Mullins-ish type numbers at two rounds later, 3 rounds later, like if I can get Marte in the fifth, especially as outfield and center field is starting to really thin out, I think I would take him here at this spot.
To be fair, he probably he doesn't have center field eligibility, and I don't think he will. He
Oh,
be,
that's
because
big.
Brandon Nimmo was resigned. So unless Nimmo has an injury, and that's what I was saying all winter long. I do not want to see Starlin Marte play center field at City Field because he's 35 years old. I do not want to see him in center field. I don't think you will see him in center field.
Okay, interesting. All right, good to know. Thanks from the inside scoop from a Mets fan. Um, all right, biggest reach of this round. Who would you not take at this ADP?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about Corbin Carroll.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, I guess I can understand it, if you're throwing a dart and I mean maybe it pays off, but I don't think you can convince me that he's ready to be this high in the draft.
Yeah.
Like we have what, like a 60 game sample size or something like that from him. Like no, this is way too early for Corbin
Yeah.
Carroll.
Oh yeah, 100%. Um, I would go Corbin Carroll. I would go Kenley Jansen. Um, I'm also gonna throw O'Neal Cruz out there. I don't necessarily like believe in him enough to draft him as my starting shortstop when you've got players like Tim Anderson, Xander Bogaerts going later. Um,
Yeah.
so
Um, I'm in the same boat with Tommy Edman. I
mm,
just never been a believer in Tommy Edman.
okay.
I don't know why. I don't feel like he's special enough. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. And I don't understand why Edmund and Cruz are ranked above Bogarts and Tim Anderson, just given
Yeah,
track records and given their team situations. Like O'Neal Cruz in that lineup, like
he's gonna score nothing. He's gonna drive in nothing. Like he'll hit
well,
20 home runs and drive in 20 runs because they'll all be him.
yeah, it'll all be him or Brian Hayes or Andrew McCutcheon, who is trying to do a little bit of everything. I don't know. Um, but other than that, I don't think Jack Sawinski is striking fear in anyone's minds behind O'Neal
And
Cruz.
Brian Reynolds, I guess, but like that's
Yeah, if he's
yeah,
there.
yeah, if he's still there, right?
Yeah. Um, all right, so that was our reaches and steals for round 5.
Yep.
So let's jump over to round 6 here. Um, oh, our numbers are a little off now because of Trevor Story. Um,
Damn Trevor Story.
damn it, Story. Should I keep going back one, or should I just start with Musgrove for the top of 5, just so we're not throwing off?
We can start with Musgrove, but we know that that's gonna
Okay.
be a little fishy.
Okay. So Musgrove, wait, are we round 6?
6.
We're round 6 now. Okay. Musgrove at 81, Eloy Jimenez 82, Alex Bregman 83, Yu Darvish 84, George Springer 85, Andres Jimenez 86, Framber Valdez 87, Xander Bogarts and Tim Anderson, who were just mentioned, 88 and 89. Tristan McKenzie, which is an interesting pick, at 90. Gunnar Henderson at 91. Tyler Glasnow 92. Vinny Pasquantino 93. Brian Reynolds 94. Wander Franco 95. And Robbie Ray 96. So that is round 6. Some interesting veterans and some
Yeah,
brand new names thrown in there too.
there are a bunch. There are reaches and steals all over this round.
Yes, there are. Yes, there are. One of my favorite
Yeah,
rounds to talk about.
yeah. This is a wild round here.
Yeah.
Where you want to start?
Oh, I guess let's start with some of the young guys. Like we've got Gunnar Henderson, we've got Vinny Pasquantino, two very young guys who we haven't seen a lot of, and here they are in the middle of round 6. What are your thoughts on the two young guys here?
Yeah, I don't really. I mean, what's this rage about Vinny Pasquantino? Like,
Yeah.
was he good? Was he good? Like, I I don't even know what he did. I mean, he plays for an obscure Royals team, so
Yes. He
whatever.
does.
And he's first base. He hit what? Yeah, he hit 295, 10 home runs, 26 RBIs in 200 in about 200 plate appearances. Not
300,
bad.
300 plate appearances. So
Yeah.
that's
So it's a
if that's half the
decent
year,
sample size. Yeah.
then what?
Um
You're looking at 20 home runs, 52 RBIs, and 2 steals and 50 runs. Like I'm not that
he
excited
he
about that.
yeah, like if you miss out on I guess if you miss out on some of those top first basemen, like maybe you take a flyer on him and see if if he did anything for a full season, but I I don't feel comfortable having him be my starting first baseman. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
give me Ty France over this guy,
Right. Right. I know how much you love some Ty France.
I do.
Um,
Um
what about Gunnar
and
Henderson?
yeah, this is an interesting one too. Like because he burst onto the scene and he was incredible, and he's part of this up and coming Orioles team that everybody is super high on. Um, I could see him going here. I could see that. I'd be willing to do that. He's got third base and shortstop eligibility, I believe. Um, and he's going to be hitting probably in the middle of that lineup. Um, that I could buy. I could buy that. I could buy Henderson here in the 6th round.
Okay. I think I'd have to take a look at his stats in the minors. Which I'm looking at them right now. He in 2022, he had 19 home runs, 76 RBIs, 22 steals, 297 average, 416 on base. Yeah, yeah. I'll take that as well. And I believe the starting role is his. I just like the AAA to MLB is definitely there's a learning curve, and I'm not sure that 116 at bats that he had last year is enough for him to be like fully ready to I could see him having those same early problems that Bobby Witt, that Spencer
Hmm.
Torkelson, that Julio Rodriguez even had in the first half of last year. But I mean, look what
But I mean,
happened.
like, yeah,
Yeah.
I just feel like he's in a position to succeed here. Like, I mean, the Orioles are definitely taking a chance, right, with having him and Rutschman kind of in the middle of that order. Those two guys, they're kind of like you made a good comparison with Spencer Torkelson and Riley Green of the Tigers, right?
Yeah.
They were hoping the Tigers were hoping that these were going to be the kids that carry them in 2022, and that didn't work. The Orioles are hoping that these two guys are going to help carry this team, but unlike the Tigers, like there's other pieces around these two guys that can help with this team. So like I don't feel like they have to be the guy in this lineup for the Orioles to succeed. I think
Yeah.
you got Mountcastle, you got Santander, you got Mullins, you got Hayes, like you got guys who can produce. Oh, and these guys, and you got Rutschman and Henderson in the middle of the order. Like
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. He's going to be surrounded by talent, young talent, and a team that is, I think, has a fire lit under them to
Oh, for
step
sure,
up and to stop being the laughing stock of the AL East. So,
absolutely.
um, there is one more
Tell
player that
me,
oh, no, go ahead. Go
you
ahead.
get no, you go ahead, you go ahead.
I was gonna say one more player I'm very curious to ask you about. And that is this guy that fell from grace. I'm sorry, Joe, but I want to talk about Wander Franco, who is right now 95th overall, which is the end of the sixth round. And this guy was going round two, round three last year. So do you think this is warranted? This this drop?
Uh, I was one of those naysayers, last going into last year. I was hesitant on this kid. I know Joe was, he was one of Joe's man crushes.
Yeah.
Um, I just, I wasn't ready to buy in, and I'm still not because we haven't seen a full season out of him.
Yeah.
We've seen full season put together, but like injuries have derailed him a little bit. And he just hasn't performed. I feel like this is a good spot for him. I don't know if I would take him earlier than this.
Yeah. I I think I agree with you. I mean, the name obviously is going, I think that he's going to move up from here between now and March. I really
Yeah.
do. Just based on his name value alone, but like, yeah, he is still dual eligible if or am I wrong on that?
I believe he would be.
Shortstop and third.
No, no,
No,
he will just be shortstop. Yeah.
okay. So just shortstop, um, taken in a round with Xander Bogaerts, Tim Anderson. I'll take those two guys over Wander Franco any day. Um, Based on lineup protection, based on batting average, steals, power, contact. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Yeah. I mean, the upside is definitely there. But I that's why I think this is a good spot for him. I don't think I think any later than this, and you're getting a steal. Any
Yes,
earlier than this, you're reaching
you're
right
reaching.
now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, all right. What
So
are some of your other thoughts here?
tell me about Tristan McKenzie and why I should pick him 90th overall. Is he? I mean, I know he had a really good year last year, and the Guardians are also like those kind of sexy picks because they actually made it to the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
He, is 1 year of a sub 3 ERA is this the right spot for him? I guess.
I think it is. I mean, the Guardians have this history of grooming these young pitchers. Um, and he was supposed to develop and blossom maybe a little earlier than he did, but now that he's 25 years old, I mean, he's still in the prime of his career. He's not the guy. He's behind Shane
Yeah.
Bieber. He's got Cal Quantrill in that rotation too. Like he doesn't have to be the guy. Um, but like you have to like what you're looking at here with the strikeout to walk ratio. Um, I think he figured something out last year, and I think pitching in the AL Central, like obviously I know the schedule is changing a bit this year. He's not going to be facing the Royals and Tigers nearly as much, but
Right.
still, I to be an SP2 borderline
Yeah.
3, like I'll take him here. I don't hate this spot. I think he's got to prove it a little bit more for I guess more people to like jump on board, but like I think I believe it.
The last one I want to ask about is Tyler Glasnow, which I
Mm,
know we've had conversations about him off air. I know
yeah.
Joe's very fascinated with him. Where are we on Tyler Glasnow? Like, I guess he's behind Tommy John surgery, so like, is he's ready to go? But he pitches for the Rays, which
Mhm.
is kind of a crapshoot
Yeah.
in and of itself. He's also not the guy in Tampa. You have
Right.
Shane McClanahan.
Mhm.
So is this the right spot for Tyler Glass now?
I th- I think this is a steal for Tyler Glass now, if I'm being
Okay.
100% honest.
Okay.
He's 29 years old. Verlander came back from Tommy John 10 years later than this guy, 10 years older than this guy, and pitched and won a Cy Young. Um, to me, I know it's the tiniest sample size ever, but the fact that he came back last year and threw 6 and 2/3 innings at the end of the season with a high strikeout rate, I know it's like there's no sample size at all there. It's one
Yeah.
game, but the fact that he got into a game, like it shows that he's healthy and it shows that he's going to come into spring training ready to go, age 29, in probably one of the best like pitching spots to pitch in as like that number 2 in Tampa Bay. I don't know.
Yep.
I'm gonna buy into this guy too.
He
And
also did throw 5 shutout innings in the postseason. So there, there,
there you
there,
go.
there is that too. So
There's that.
yep.
Um, and
Okay.
really, really high strikeout potential too. Like, so if he continues to fall because people are afraid, like I will take him hands down.
Good. Good to know.
All right. Reaches and steals. Who is your biggest steal for round 6 that you would be thrilled to get this player at that position?
Two jump off the page for me right now. It is Xander Bogart and Framber Valdez
Okay.
because Framber Valdez I think could still be an SP1.
Mm-hmm.
I, Above him is Yu Darvish and Joe Musgrove. I don't know if I count on them to be my SP1. I can count on Framber Valdez to be my SP1 still.
Yeah.
To get him in the 6th round would be a steal. And Xander Bogaerts, what is he doing down here? I think he's better than Swanson, O'Neill Cruz. Like, why is he all the way down here? What am I missing on Xander Bogaerts in the middle of this Padres lineup?
Yeah.
Like, give me some of that.
I mean,
And
you're sacrificing some power, but which
I mean
shortstops
the
are really going to give you a ton of power anyway?
right, like I mean, how by how much? Like, what did he hit? 15 last year. Like, okay, that's okay.
That's okay. He
I
stole
mean,
8 bases. He had a 307 batting average,
right.
377 on base.
Yeah. So like 38 doubles. Like, I'll take that
Yeah.
out of my shortstop. Absolutely. Um,
Where
by
does
the way, also
roster resource have him hitting in this lineup?
right
Four.
now, and this is without Tatis in the lineup, they have him hitting fourth.
Okay. I'll take
They
that.
have Ha-Sung Kim, Juan Soto, Manny Machado, and then Bogarts.
Ha-Seong Kim leadoff?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Once Tatis comes back, that probably changes. Um, but because right now your other your options are Cronenworth, Nelson Cruz, Matt Carpenter, Austin Nola, and Trent Grisham.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
Um, but that top five is lethal,
Yeah. Yeah.
especially once Tatis comes back. Um,
Yes.
Also, I want to mention Brian Reynolds. If he does get traded, he jumps up this list. Like if he gets traded to
Mm,
a Yankees or a Rangers or a contending team, he jumps up this list.
okay. Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. Um, my biggest steal, I think, is I'm gonna go with George Springer here. Um, Again, like outfield, there reaches a point, and it's coming soon, where it just completely like thins out, and there's not a bunch left. Um, I could see Springer hitting 30 home runs again next year. Batting leadoff every day for the Blue Jays. He missed some time last year. Um, he played in 133 games, so he missed about a month. Um, and he still hit 25 home runs, 76 RBIs, 14 steals. Like, where did those steals come from, dude? Um, I'll take that. Um, I like George Springer where he is, and I would be so happy to get him here at the end of the sixth round.
And what's interesting about him is because and I've had him and I've dealt with I missed a big chunk of the season with him in 2021 dealing with injury, but this year he's going to be playing mostly right field, which I feel like will take less of a toll on his body than having to play center field.
Okay.
So he could be in for a good solid full-ish season, and if you can get that from him in that same kind of production level that he has, yeah, in the sixth round, that's a steal.
Yeah. So for me, it's Springer or Glass now, but I'm gonna go with Springer here. Um, Biggest reach in this
I, I,
round.
I we talked about it. I think it has to be Vinny Pasquantino. Like, uh, I mean, I know the corner infield is a little thin after the big guns at the top, but there's got to be somebody better than Vinny Pasquantino later on this list. Like
Yeah.
you can take before him.
Yes. I agree with you. I agree. I don't know how I pick someone else other than Vinny Pasquantino here. Um, I mean, Andres Jimenez he's fine, but that's all he is to me is he's fine. I
Yeah,
if I'm gonna take a 6 round flyer on Andres Jimenez, like I feel like I might as well just like wait and get something similar, like get Gleyber Torres later, get like someone else, like even Max Muncy or like just anyone, Jorge Polanco at second base. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, yeah.
I'm not sure that
Right.
this is worth the 6 round pick, but I don't
I
know.
mean, he has big pedigree. He was a top prospect with the Mets, and he got traded in the Lindor trade. So like he has pedigree, and he had a really good
He
2022.
did. He did.
I would want to see it one more time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to round 7.
All right.
Getting down there now. All right. 2 catchers starting us off for round 7. We've got Alejandro Kirk at 97. Wilson, your man, Wilson Contreras at 98. David Bedknobs and Broomsticks at 99. Another catcher, MJ Melendez at pick 100. George Kirby, okay, at 101. Willie Adames 102, Scott Barlow 103, Nathaniel Lowe 104, Daniel Bard 105, Jose Abreu 106. Stop me when I get to 16 because I'm bad at math. I think it's 112. Okay. Um, Clay Holmes 107, Tyler O'Neill 108. Oh my man. Joan Duran 109. Logan Gilbert 110, Jeremy Pena 111, and finally Logan Webb 112.
A lot of interesting names here still. Like,
A lot happening in this round.
yeah, it's a bit all over the place.
You've got some
I'm what
interesting like closers and non-closers and
could be
potentially.
closers, like
Yeah,
part-time closers.
part-time
Um,
closers. A lot of pitching
yeah,
and
like
catching this round.
it interesting to see like Duran. So like, is he the guy in Minnesota, or is it is it Jorge? Like
Yeah,
I
it could
I
be
thought it was
both.
Jorge, but I mean maybe it's this kid. So like it's interesting to see him going ahead of Jorge Lopez. Roster Resource does have Jorge Lopez as the closer. Well, they list both of these guys as the closer, so I guess maybe it's a timeshare.
I think they'll both get
With
save opportunities for sure. I think they last year because I had this guy, I loved every minute of having him. But they really liked the multi-position, like multi-inning, like let's throw him out for 2 innings in a game
yeah,
thing with him.
so is
Um,
he like I maybe he's like the next Josh Hader, right?
yeah,
Because that's how Hader started. Right? He was throwing like 2 or 3 innings an outing, uh, just throwing gas,
yes,
and that's what this kid does. Is he
yes,
throws serious heat.
yeah.
Um, yeah. So would you take him ahead of or behind Scott Barlow?
It's a tough call because I think Barlow has the job security, and if you're looking for closers, you know, you have to draft someone that doesn't have that competition right off the bat, right? I mean, if you're gonna get John
Right.
Duran and Jorge Lopez maybe in back-to-back rounds, like you could argue that, but I don't know. I I think I'd probably still go with Barlow as the
Yeah,
safe
that's tough.
security bet right now.
Even on the Royals, who might win 70 games, maybe.
Hey, if he saves 40 of those, I'm thrilled. So,
Okay, okay. What about where are you on Clay Holmes, Mr. Yankee?
I don't know
Is he
where I'm at with Clay Holmes, honestly, because I think Loiza could take the job. But like the thing is we don't we this is the first year in a long time that we don't have a closer, and it's terrifying going into the season. Um, I don't see Clay Holmes as the closer. I just see him as the guy that closed games last year. So I don't know where the rest of Yankee universe sits with that, but I wouldn't be shocked if
you know,
he have this job all year.
and what's interesting is that you also have Lou Trevino, who has been a closer before.
Yep.
Like, he could be roster resources has him down in middle relief, but I feel like if any of it is going to take over the closer role, it could be him.
It could be Lou Trevino. That would be strange to have like this athletics bullpen guy
Reject.
become rejects become the closer of the Yankees, but I mean we
Stranger things
we
have happened, I guess.
we went from a bullpen juggernaut to what, like a year ago, to whatever the hell we are now, which is a black hole of bullpen arms. So
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
it's
know.
just a bunch of it's a bunch of middle relievers
It's a
is
bunch of middle
what they
relievers.
have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so we got a bunch of catchers here. We've got um, no surprises as far as catchers go, like Kirk, Contreras, and Melendez, who they all proved themselves last year. I know how much you love yourself some Wilson Contreras, and I know that this is kind of low for him, for you. Um, but the
I
big
tell you what though, this group is probably like if I don't get one of these catchers, I'm probably like more or less out on the position. Like this is
this
anybody
is
after this is somebody I don't. Yeah, I
cut off,
don't
huh?
feel comfortable having them as my starting catcher.
Interesting. I
Yeah,
like
so
some of the
like
names a
if I'm
little
going,
later, but
yeah, I mean there's a couple like potentials, but
yeah.
I just there's nobody that I'm like, yeah, I can skip out on Contreras or Kirk and go for Travis Darno. Like
Right.
you know,
I hear you.
um,
I hear you.
and yeah,
George
and
Kirby. What do we know about George
interesting.
Kirby?
Not much. Like see, like roster resource has him as the Mariners four behind Castillo, Gilbert, Ray, and yeah, behind
I
Castillo,
mean,
Gilbert, and Ray.
he's got to be 4. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's wow. What a deep rotation they got.
Yeah.
Um, there in Seattle, right? If he's the four, um,
Look, he
he's
had a
projected.
nice season last
He
year.
did. He did. What did he do last year? He
133 strikeouts to 22 walks is
wow.
nice. That's very nice
Yeah.
in 130 innings. Um,
He's also from Rye, New York. You know, so that's that. I mean, I've been to Rye so many times, so I like this. I like this kid.
a local guy. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I mean,
Um.
he's been pretty consistent in the minors too. Nice pitching
Yeah.
numbers in the minors. I'm not sure I've seen enough. He was 6th in Rookie of the Year voting last year, so that's something. Um, but I'm not sure I'm ready to buy in as like, okay, George Kirby is my number 2 or even number 3 starter. I don't know.
It is interesting how he's going ahead of Logan Gilbert.
Yeah, and I feel like I'm more inclined to go with Gilbert as a
Yeah.
number
I
3 starter for sure.
I think I would be too. I mean, the upside with Kirby is legit, but I think you're getting that same upside and more with Gilbert.
Yeah,
Like I feel safer going with Gilbert ahead of
right,
Kirby.
right.
But I wouldn't be upset if I got Kirby here.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I'd be upset either. I just don't think I want him as my number 2. Like
Yeah.
I don't feel good. And what's interesting is like Logan Webb is the end of this round, and I don't know why, but I feel like I'd be comfortable with Logan Webb as my 2, high end 3, something like that. But not George Kirby. I don't know why.
I don't know. I think I do feel better about Kirby than Webb. I don't like the Giants, um, and I just I do like the Mariners. So
Okay.
I feel like Kirby could be better,
Okay.
but I feel like also at this point you could take either one of them and be just fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed. All right. Let's do some reaches and steals here from this wild round 7.
Yeah, I
So
think
we'll start with your steal here.
my steal. I think I'm gonna go with Jose Abreu.
Nice pick.
Because yeah, like if Vinny Pasquantino is going the round before, like okay, I'll miss out on Pasquantino and get Jose Abreu hitting the Astros lineup. Like you know what you're getting consistent his entire career. Yeah, I think Abreu is my steal here.
Hmm. Okay. I think I think you stole mine.
See, it's a steal.
It's a steal. So I'm gonna agree with you on Abreu and um let's see who your biggest reach is here. Who would you not take at this ADP?
Bandar and broomsticks.
Really?
I don't. Yeah, I traded. I don't believe in. I mean, same with Scott Barlow, but Bednar is higher than Scott Barlow right now. I don't believe in the closers of these middling teams that are just not going to win. Um, I don't know what he. I mean, he was good last year, I guess, but like that's been it. One year, like he
Yeah.
was good in 21. Was also wasn't he? Yeah, but like he was. I don't know. I I'm not particularly fond of him.
Okay.
I'll get my save somewhere else. I'll be fine with Daniel Bard, like
Yeah,
or
there
Claire
he is.
Holmes or Duran. Like
Yeah.
I Bednar on the Pirates, no thanks.
Okay. All right. Good call. Um for me there are a lot of guys that I probably just wouldn't draft in general because I tend to avoid them. Like a Willie Adames, like a Nathaniel Lowe. just guys that like. I mean, Adamas is good and he's a proven player, but I'd prefer to go in a different direction for a shortstop. Nathaniel Lowe for me was one of those guys that was just like literally always a free agent last year and then always on a team. Like he was dropped and added more than any player I think in the bigs
Well,
last.
Costas and him had a little bit of a love-hate relationship.
Yes, he was a revolving door on Costas's team, and
Yeah,
for that reason, maybe I just seeing him like constantly dropped and added, like I just don't see him as a regular. I don't see him as uh, a force of stability, as like an anchor to that corner infield spot.
he he did have a really good year though.
He
Like,
did.
I
He
mean,
did.
he hit over 300, 358 on base, 27 home runs, 76 RBIs, and this lineup is just, I feel like it's just getting better. So I don't know. I'm with you. Like I feel like he could just be like nothing, but I feel like also he could be something. Like he could be surprising.
What are we learning about me this conversation? Like I don't trust any Texas Rangers apparently, no matter how good their stats are. I just don't want them on my team.
We
Oh,
don't trust those Rangers.
don't trust the Rangers. Um, all right, I think that covers round, what was
That
that?
was round
Eight,
seven.
seven,
That was
round
seven.
7. All right. Um, so we're gonna get into round 8 right now.